This week, Mike and I are going through someone else's journey in games. This is the Good Game, Bad Game podcast.
This is a song I wrote about the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. Good Game, Bad Game podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. I'm your host, Spencer, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Mike. Mike, how are you?
Hello. It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Since we've done a journey into games?
A podcast.
Oh. A
journey into games, yes.
I didn't know if you were I didn't know if you were making a reference to the fact that we recorded 2 days ago or not.
Well, they don't know that.
It has been, I think, a whole year since we've released a journey into games. Can you sense a theme, people? Anyway.
Merry Christmas. We want time off.
Enough about you, Mike, and enough about our recording habits. Let's introduce our special guest. Joining us is Shelby.
I would actually just like to be referred to as someone else for forever.
Okay. All right.
Hello.
Joining us is someone else forever.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shelby, you were on a previous episode. You're one of those like interesting instances where you've been on an episode and now we're going back and doing a journey into games, really scraping the bottom of the barrel by opting to go for one of our wives.
Right. You looked around the room and you went, ooh, who can I choose? Who can I choose?
The friends are dwindling.
Yeah. Or the problem is we wait till the last minute and go, okay, who can record on short notice? Oh, the person who's in the same room as me. Great.
Now, is Shelby still a friend of the show or is she a wife of the show?
It's an interesting question. Shelby, how do you view yourself?
Well, being that I've listened to a total of one
Yikes.
episode in total, I think I'm still designated friend, if even, like acquaintance. Like I feel like I can't even be above that.
Peer, maybe? Listener?
Yeah. Almost stranger.
I can tell you you're definitely not a wife of the show because you're about to be an ex-wife of the show.
Oh,
there we go. Perfect one.
Okay. All right. So, journey into games. In case somebody is listening to their first ever episode of the Good Game, Bad Game podcast. Hi, I'm Spencer. But also, if you're listening to your first ever episode of what we like to call Journey into Games, what Mike and I do is we invite a guest onto the show, and we have, 6 questions, I think, total, that we'll go back and forth asking our guest, in this case, Shelby. Shelby will provide answers. We'll vamp on those answers for a little bit. Just asking about Shelby's opinion on games, general like gaming style, things like that. And then to end it all, probably my favorite part of all this is the rapid fire question section that we have each time. But it's just really fun because, I mean, for 100 and however many episodes, it's been just Mike and I. Occasionally we have a guest on, and in these specific instances, it's always really cool to see how video games have impacted, continue to impact, take up time in somebody's life outside of the fact that like Mike and I can sit here and say that we played Madden or MLB The Show in the past week. So, without further ado, Shelby, are you ready?
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Mike, are you ready?
Ready.
All right. I will kick us off with the first question. Shelby, could you please give us like a high level view of your gaming story? So like, why do you game? How do you game? And then how have your gaming patterns changed over the years?
High level, I think I was a GameCube baby. Like that was my like first experience of having games. And then basically anything from there on moving forward was I had major FOMO and would beg to like have a piece of the gaming pie in the world, meaning that like I had a DS, but I only did like 2 things with it. Like I can't even like think right now of like what I played on it, like Nintendog, stuff like that. Um, Died in terms of like interest in gaming pretty much. I don't even know how old I was. I haven't played games for a very long time is what I'm getting at, until basically dating you, Spencer. I finally was like, wow, this is kind of fun. And more recently have tried to get back into some like more chill, like first person or like single player story. I don't know terms of anything, but clearly. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know a lot.
So you had a gaming hiatus, and what you're saying is that I did what any good gamer would do and converted you back into a gamer.
I mean, I can't really say I am a gamer. I really enjoy watching games, like thoroughly enjoy that. Playing is kind of its own struggle for me, no, normally.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It was kind of a situation of like either get on board
Or get the fuck out.
or get the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
you said to me the first day we met.
I was saying get used to. No, I hid gaming. I hid the fact that I gamed as much as I did for a few weeks. I feel like.
I don't know. I feel like
Okay.
it was pretty upfront.
Um, I just want to go back real quick. You said about how you did like 2 things on the DS, and one of those things
Yeah.
was playing games. What was the other thing you were doing on a DS?
Oh, Picto Chat.
Of course. How did you not know
Yeah.
that, Spencer? I should have
That
just
was
been
that
asleep.
was that was the biggest reason I wanted the DS.
Okay, good answer. See, I was thinking I was trying to be an ass because I figured you didn't literally mean 2 things. I thought you literally meant 2 games. So
You fool.
the 2 things are yeah, okay. All right.
Bust a
Um
bus at elementary school.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good times. Good times. Um okay, yeah. No, I see it. I see it. A gaming hiatus and now you're trying to get back into it.
Trying my best and getting sick occasionally because of it.
Getting sick because of it.
Yeah, I get really bad motion sickness from
Uh,
playing video
oh,
games.
yes.
Yeah, it's a fun time
Like
when I can't walk and look at the same time.
And she has legitimately, not to like go TMI or anything, but
Oh, I don't care.
she has legitimately gotten ill from what was
Yes.
it, The Witness and The Last of Us? Which The Last of Us is crazy because that's not
Yeah.
even first person. But
Yeah, that one surprises me.
I think my
Yeah.
janky movements with the camera as I move around was enough.
Yes. I mean, I almost got sick playing Human Fall Flat last week.
Yep. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had to lay on the sofa with my head covered for like 30 minutes.
It was a bit dramatic.
Oh my god.
Now, is it just when you play, or is it when you? 'Cause you'd mentioned you like watching video games. Like, if you watch it, is it fine, or is it just like a playing thing,
It
or is it?
it definitely is made worse when I play it because I'm so bad at controlling a camera. But if Spencer's playing a super like generally if it's a survival or something along those lines, it can also happen there where there's just so much happening on a screen that like my I just immediately feel no, I shouldn't say immediately, but I hit a point where I just feel so unwell. I can't look at anything.
Sounds awful.
I know what a terrible way to live life.
Can't relate.
Imagine if she had to wear glasses too. Like imagine if she just didn't have naturally good eyesight. That'd be
It
crazy.
would be the worst, yeah.
All right, Mike, you want to take question 2?
Yeah, so you said you were a GameCube baby, so I assume your first gaming memory comes from along this time frame, which I'm excited about because it makes me nostalgic. But what is your first gaming memory that you have?
Um, First gaming memory is probably one of the Spyro games. I can't remember which one I had. Spencer would maybe know. But I rem I remembered being really excited because I wanted with all of my being for dragons to be real in this world. So I would play or do anything dragon related. So as soon as Spyro was like in my zeitgeist, I was like, "Oh my god, tunnel vision." That's all I could think about. So the funny thing is though, I didn't understand memory cards or how they worked and we had a really, really, like, small one, so I didn't know how to, like, properly save the game or, like, get a new card or make room or whatever, so every time I played it, I started from the beginning and would literally just, like, give up when I gave up, and, like, I never got to the end of the game because I, like, couldn't play that long.
Sounds like an opportunity. Redemption.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like,
Do you,
Spencer's favorite thing to step in and make me play the whole game.
do you know how to use a memory card now?
Questionable, honestly. I
You
think
did better. Perfect
I
finish.
still would be like, "Spencer, what am I doing?"
Well, the first thing you do is you find your sibling's game save and you delete that.
She wouldn't get that because she is the older sibling in her
Yeah,
situation.
I'm the one who'd have the save, unfortunately.
Unless, did Chris ever, not to make this about us, Mike, but did Chris ever delete any of your save data?
Probably out of spite because I accidentally deleted his ones.
Okay, yeah, maybe Brock did that. I know one time. I know one time I like he was so far in like Super Mario World 3 for the Game Boy Advance. And I remember I just like flat out deleted it. I like didn't know what I was really doing. At least I hope I didn't. And I remember, God, I thought he was gonna beat my ass. Like I thought I was gonna die. He was so mad. I just remember like I don't even think he could get words out with how angry he was. That was crazy. But
I
I
have
can't think of a time he ever did it to me. And like we used to like, I mean I still hate him, but like we used to like go at it all the time. And like I can't think of a time which like would have been like the lowest hanging fruit, right? To just like be a prick and like delete save data. And I don't think he ever did. So shout out to him for one thing that he did right, I guess.
I honestly can't think of a time that Chris deleted save data from my card. I can remember one specific time. This was a complete accident. So there was an MLB game. I think it was like MLB 2004 or something for the PS2,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually had to use two memory cards to save it.
Jesus.
And so Chris used mine, and I didn't realize it. And I don't remember all the details of it, but for some reason when I went in to delete it from my card, because I didn't know why it was on there, I didn't know what he was using it for, or why there was an MLB save on there because I didn't play it. I apparently chose the wrong card and just deleted all of his.
Oh no.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that.
That is the worst. That was like the worst era though, where it was just like, because Shelby, I was in a similar boat to you. Probably before, like by GameCube and PS2, I understood how memory cards worked, but certainly
Rub
on
it in.
the PS1, I didn't. So I had like a similar. No, I mean you were a late bloomer. It's fine. I also didn't have an understanding. So I would be the same way. I would start games, but I would never finish them. I would only get as far as I did in that session and then be done. Which is crazy because that's how games used to actually be, and we had the
Right,
means to
right.
not do that to ourselves, and we still did anyway. So that's funny. Also, real quick, I believe you have a Hero's Tale for GameCube or Enter the Dragonfly.
I really don't know. It
It's
was one
fun.
of those. Those are both coming to my head, but couldn't tell you.
Just thought I would let you know.
Never made it far enough to find out, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't on the like home screen or anything.
It was a
Uh,
lucky day if I made it to the home screen.
um okay. Do you have a favorite gaming memory?
Um, this is, like, not a fun answer because it's just there's not, like, a specific story, but I know for a fact, Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix was one of my favorite games of all time, and it was for the GameCube, and I made every human being in my life play that game, and I, again, can't, like, recount a specific one, but, like, I would have sleepovers that we would stay up till, like, 2, 3 in the morning, just, like this is really gross, but just, like, sweating our asses off because 'cause we've played Dance Dance Revolution for, like, 6 hours straight, like, just like, I was pro like, I don't know why and no one told me to like stop. My friends kept coming over, but we would do it non-stop, and I was addicted to it, and I still to this day would probably like get a rush out of playing it.
Well, when you come back downstairs, I have a surprise. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't get the game.
That was probably the first time I've heard about that game, probably since it was out. I just completely forgot that it even existed.
Dance Dance
That's a great
Revolution,
time.
or specifically the Mario one?
The Mario one.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I only know it's a thing through Shelby.
I have a hard time playing other DDRs because I love that one so much. Like hearing normal songs on DDR doesn't feel right to me. I want to be hearing the weird
Well,
Mario songs.
Also, like calling it normal songs, like we did get DDR a Mythstar Rock Band era,
Of course.
and we like loaded it up and we were like trying it out, and like it's like every fucking song is on speed, but it's like they
Yeah.
are like legitimate songs. And so it's like I almost feel like it's kind of like more beneficial when it's like if you put like a Mario game and like a Mario theme song or something and like up the beats per minute and things like that and like speed it up, it's not as like jarring as as like hearing like uh Walking on Sunshine, but like at 4x speed.
Yeah, and they're all like the 9 p.m. radio edits that used to happen.
Yeah, with with like all the unnecessary beat drops.
Yeah, it's so uncomfortable. It is really bad. But I remember the Mario mix has it's either called like Bowser's Rage or it's Bowser something, and it's like clearly like looks like it should be the hardest song on the whole disc. And we would always just like continuously try to play it on the hardest difficulty. And it like you're just like dying because it's just like we would just do it over and over and over and over again. And I don't even remember if I like ever 3-starred it or what, but I remembered for the longest time like being able to do well on that song was like a greatest accomplishment in my life.
Did you ever like set up like balance bars or anything like that so that you could like kind of like push yourselves up and like move your feet around quicker?
We
Have you
didn't
ever
do
seen that?
that, but I do know what you're talking about. We didn't do that, but anyone who like didn't like wasn't great at it or didn't love doing it would like sit in the middle and like hand slap it a lot.
Okay.
People would do
Okay.
that if they got really tired of like standing. Or
So
you
just
could
not
like yeah, so not doing it. Or you could like two person, someone gets like two of the arrows and someone else gets the other two, and you do hands because if you did feet, you'd just be like stepping on each other.
I I just love that. I love it. The idea of just like, yeah, we played a ton of Dance Dance Revolution, and it's like, but we didn't dance for half of the time.
Are you proud of yourself? You're proud of that
I'm very
solution?
proud. I'm so proud. Are you kidding me?
I get it. I mean, you gotta make it work.
All right. Next question then.
Oh yeah.
All right. Has gaming molded the way you think in day-to-day activities or work?
Um, molded the way I think. I mean, for the longest time, I probably would have said no, but since dating Spencer for so many years and just being in a room whilst a game is on for so long, um, I don't know if this perfectly answers the question, but I've definitely have a very newfound respect for like stories in games. I'm more of like a reader, so I, love stories as a whole, but like actually seeing like some really cool games and how they're done and everything. It's just yeah, a newfound appreciation for stories and creatives and all things like that. And I don't know, I guess I weirdly in day-to-day life maybe again, I can't tell if ever this is like, oh, because I'm around games or because I'm around Spencer, but I feel like randomly we'll be like, whoa, that situation right there would have gone like this in a video game, which clearly means we spend too much time thinking about video games and stuff like that. But yeah.
That was gonna kind of be my follow up. Like, do you ever like find yourself equating something that's happening or something like you said about how you read? Like, do you ever find yourself instantly like equating that back to a game.
Um, I don't know if I can think about like a reading specific. That just made me think of whenever I'm just having like really intense road rage, I want to be in GTA where I can do anything I want, which isn't healthy. And I obviously don't want harm to come to anyone, but deep inside of me, I'm like, if this could just be GTA right now and I could just like get all of my anger out on all of this, that
And
would
then
be great.
and then drive over to the strip club.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. So Shelby sees herself in GTA a lot, and we know what politicians think about that. So I think we know a lot about
Hmm.
Shelby now.
Interesting.
Okay. Here's a fun one. Especially since you're now kind of getting back into gaming. What do you think gaming will look like in 10 years?
Well, for my own sanity and not getting sick, I hope it's not as VR centric as people seem to make it out to be, because I don't think my body will handle that very well. I've never played a VR game, but if I can't handle a normal game, I don't think a VR is going to go any better. Um, so I hope that's not the case, even though I do think that tech is really cool. Um, what would it look like in 10 years? Um, God, I don't know. I mean, the cynic in me is just like we're gonna keep repeating, and everyone's gonna like even though the Switch made a comeback with this form of handheld, I just feel like we're gonna go even further. Like I don't know. I feel like there's gonna be like a new. I don't know. I'm just like I'm picturing the day where like everyone had DSs, but I guess that's literally was the Switch. I just like picture that continuing. Like it's gonna rubber band. Like I feel like we're gonna go deep into the handhelds again. To make gaming even more like a part of your everyday life. Yeah, I don't know.
So you see it as like, yeah, like the mobile aspect and everything. We're gonna kind of go back to that because people are like so on the go and stuff like that. And then when we inevitably hit the inevitable threshold of those devices, then it's gonna be, well, if you don't love the power of this thing that you can hold in your hands, we have this thing
Right.
that you can leave at home that'll plug
Yep.
directly into a TV that you can play on. It's called a console. So you kind of see it happening like that.
Yeah, I just see it repeating, which I guess in a way, I know like phones and computers, especially the like pretty, I'll say average consumer ones, are like trying to promote gaming on them more. So
Hmm.
I guess that is already happening, which that you wouldn't have to buy a handheld. Your phone can compensate for that for games you wouldn't have previously thought you could. Um, Yeah, I just like see a never-ending cycle of okay, for the next 5 to 10 years we'll be obsessed with on the go, and then literally like you just said, like, do you want to do more? And then it'll just like keep repeating somehow. And I feel like we're not out of the woods. I'm really okay, my brain's all over the place. But I this goes a little bit to the what like awards just happened.
The game, the Game Awards.
Yeah, the Game Awards. I'm like really ready for like as a not even big video game player, this is me making a really bold statement. I felt like every game had to story-wise had to do with um like dystopian like space or like ruined earth or something like that. And I'm just like I feel like story like I know that's going to keep happening and it's always going to be there and that's fine, but I'm just like what's going to be like a new storyline? Like what's going to be a new thing that like grabs the attention of everyone? And I think I don't know like what the answer is, but I'm just like ready for maybe that trend in stories to be like a little bit done as well.
Well, I've got bad news.
It's
In,
never ending.
in probably like 20 years, we'll be playing games where Earth was like perfect.
Oh my god, you're so right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes, right? Like, what was the event? I think it was probably last year, Mike. But there was like the whole like dive into um like environmental horror type games. So like games that are like, or maybe I don't know, like whatever you'd classify as Dead Space as. And actually, I think a lot of them were also taking place in space. Like it was like all like space borderline horror-y type games. And then like it just feels like this is how it always goes, where it's like you just see them like latch on to a genre, and then it just so happens that every single person is making, or like samurai games, right? Like everybody's making a samurai game
Yeah,
constantly.
medieval games.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not very creative anymore.
Mm-mm.
So all that in mind, Shelby, if you could craft the perfect game, what would that look like?
Oh boy. Well, I know we're calling medieval not creative, but there has to be a dragon. I don't know in what capacity.
Why can't you have futuristic
Um,
dragon?
yeah, it's a space dragon. Perfect game. Well, if I'm going to be physically able to play it, it has to be not survival in the sense that something is hunting me or I will never make it through. Um, and I think I do tend to be just like a calm vibes. So maybe I don't want it to be a sim, but like there's gonna be a little bit of like maybe like farming or foraging or something like that. I know it already exists. It's obviously I'm not reinventing a wheel or anything, but anything that just is like calm vibes, probably cute animals, and you're just like maybe in like a forest or something. That is going to be right up my alley.
Would you like it if, like, would you like it? You said about a forest. What about like on an island or something?
Island's fine.
Okay. So Shelby, we have Animal Crossing. Do you want to play Animal Crossing?
I was gonna say Minecraft,
Yeah, I didn't
which
know if you were gonna
includes a
reference.
dragon.
That's true.
Oh, true. I know. I know I'm not reinventing the wheel. But I'm just here for the calm. I need calm vibes, or it's just I'm gonna be very upset.
I think game developers should listen, and
Yeah.
keep making these casual, like calm games where it's not really as intense as like a Soulsborne game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would. I was about to say I would think that there are more casual games in the market than there are Souls-esque games, but also like as soon as Elden Ring was a success, it felt like everybody was pumping out like Lies of P and like nothing that's like maybe as unforgiving as like a Souls game, but are like on that level of it's just like a boss fight after a boss fight, learn the pattern, kill the
I
boss,
just feel like
stuff
it's
like that.
harder to discover like casual games. It's easy to find anything like a Soulsborne at this point or whatever's in vogue. Um, but to find like another Animal Crossing, that's why I really like the indie showcases so much because I feel like they tend to be in that neighborhood.
Yeah, either chill or like chill plus unique idea, right? Like that volleyball turn-based game that's gonna be
Yeah,
coming out. It's like turn-based, so it's slowed down. You don't have to like worry about like an active battle system like you were saying, Shelby. Like anything that's like actively hunt. Although you do fine in 7 days, I will give you props.
With some practice.
Until you're screaming because a zombie comes up on you.
You turn the running off, and now there's this weird morphed Attack on Titan style zombie who still runs even when the runoff is set on. I don't understand.
Well, you have to have run off on console because the game is so jank and broken that like it would be impossible if the zombies were running. I would like to try it if we had two beefy enough PCs to see how it would go.
I'd be dead.
Yeah, probably. Okay, but
Yeah, I guess
so
it's the like big games. Like the big games everyone talks about. It's like literally besides the fact that Animal Crossing blew up, and I would kind of give this to like Stardew. Like they're just not talked about as much, which like whatever, if it's not popular, it's not popular. Um but I know like calm games will always have like their spot, especially in like indie gaming.
100%. I don't want to like be that person to call you out, but you mentioned
Okay.
Stardew, you mentioned Animal Crossing. two games that I feel like you played Animal Crossing a decent bit, and then it kind of like it like naturally fell out of the zeitgeist, and then like so it goes. So like I won't give you too much shit for that. Though up front you were like, I just don't think I'd be into a game like that. So it's very interesting that that's how you would build out your perfect game. Stardew, you've said multiple times where you just don't think you'd want to play it by yourself.
Yeah.
So is
That
it
was
so is that the other aspect of your game has to be cooperative in some case, like in some way?
I like having the option because probably 80% of the time if I don't have to play the game by myself, I'd prefer that. Um but so if it could be like I guess if Stardew Valley, or I guess is this how Stardew Valley works? Like could I have a farm and then you could just join from time to time? Like that's effectively the setup I'd want so that when you don't feel like playing, I can continue it by myself. But when I can convince you to play, then you can join and I can be like, what am I doing?
I am pretty sure that's how it works.
And yeah, that would be the setup. I'd want co-op as an option.
Okay. All right. All right. Sounds like a pretty solid game. You want optional co-op,
Yeah.
chill game. So
Yeah.
Animal
Cute
Crossing.
animals. Listen, Animal Crossing, I had to play it when you weren't playing it. And then when you weren't playing it, that meant none of our friends were playing it. And then I was just the loser by myself playing Animal Crossing.
Damn, I'm not that important. No, but seriously, tell me how important I am. Okay, that's it. That was all the main questions. How do you think you did?
I think I got at least a C. That's passing, right?
Mike, thoughts?
It's degrees, or so they say.
And now we're going to get into the rapid fire. And just to explain how the rapid fire works, there are no right or wrong answers. These are truly answers that you believe at your core are your right answer, right? Like you're not trying to please anyone with your answers. So, it's really just the first thing that comes to mind. A lot of these are yes or no or whatever, but first thing that comes to mind, you say it and we're on to the next one.
Okay.
All right? Thinking you can do that?
I think I can.
All right, Mike, are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'll kick it off. How about
Oh, Mamma
that?
Mia. All right.
Alrighty. All right. Question 1: Best gaming generation.
The Wii.
Worst gaming generation.
I guess the Wii U.
Best game of all time.
Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix.
Worst game of all time.
I don't know. Have I ever hated a game?
It doesn't matter. What's the worst game of all time? Go, say it.
I guess Soulsborne, because I can't.
The entire genre, or
The entire genre, dead.
Good enough.
Shut it down.
Love it. Is this the 100th episode of the podcast?
100th ever episode? Is that the question?
What?
Yes.
It's not. No.
Okay, who would win in a fight, Arthur Morgan or Joel Miller?
Arthur Morgan.
Favorite console of all time.
GameCube.
Least favorite console of all time.
The Wii U.
Okay.
What is the best value in all of gaming?
Probably just not. Oh, save your money. As soon as you start, you can't stop.
Favorite game series?
I guess Pokemon, sure. The only series I've ever played.
Gaming snack.
Doritos all the way.
Okay, who would win in a fight? Joel Miller or Arthur Morgan with tuberculosis?
Still Arthur Morgan with tuberculosis with a golf club baseball bat.
Wait, how did
How
he
would you
get?
What?
know?
How did he get that?
Who knows? He made it
No,
himself.
this is a fair fight, except for the fact that Arthur has
A
tuberculosis. Who
real
wins?
countryman. Arthur Morgan.
Okay, all right.
I stand by it.
Yeah, but you brought up the golf club.
I didn't say anything.
Biggest gaming regret.
I guess stopping playing because now I suck.
Okay. Fuck, marry, kill. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox.
Ooh, this is hard. I'm going to. Oh no. I'm going to marry Nintendo. I'm going to fuck PlayStation, I guess kill Xbox.
Are we keeping a tally on that? The sidebar?
No, we should though. I can go back and
Yeah.
I'll say I'll go back, but I won't, and then you'll
We
remind me
won't.
next
Won't.
time.
No, next time we'll bring it up like it's a brand new idea. Who sings the 2013 hit Radioactive?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think that's right. Okay.
I don't
Have you?
know. I know we said there are no wrong answers, but
That's wrong.
Have you played Immortals: Phoenix Rising yet?
What even is that?
if you could live in any video game world, what would it be?
I guess Animal Crossing.
Solid one. Okay. And if you could only play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Candy Crush.
Interesting.
What? That's a fine answer, but that caught me off guard.
Okay.
It really stressed me out.
Okay. Wait.
I already feel like I messed up.
Wait.
Do you actively play Candy Crush? Like,
No.
when's the last time you played it?
I don't even think the app's on my phone. It's been like a year plus since I've played. It's not even on my phone.
I I love. Okay. Hang on. First off, I love doing the rapid fire. This
Oh
is
my
why
god, I thought of a better game.
this is why it's my favorite thing. Because
Yeah.
I don't want you to think too much about it, because then the fun of it is like we now get to this point and we can kind of like call back to a few of these and ask you like what the hell you were thinking. So like what the hell were you thinking by saying Candy Crush?
Okay, I'm not gonna change my answer because I can't, but 2 seconds after I realized I should have said Dragon City on mobile.
Okay, but
I
again,
think that's
what's
the only place you can play it.
like why is there any particular reason why you like your mind immediately went to mobile?
Because if I can only play one game for the rest of my life, why would I want to stare at some big hunking console that's just going to sit there that I can only use one stupid thing for it versus my phone that I can do other things with, or like a tablet or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then it like just doesn't take up space. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's always on me.
Are you aware that Minecraft is on literally everything?
I am, but I forgot about it.
Okay, all right. I'm just wanted to float that out there. Mike, were there any questions that really stood out for you?
Yes. You said the best gaming generation was the Wii, but your favorite console is the GameCube.
Yeah, because of nostalgia, for sure.
I think that's fair. I think you could say that like you can acknowledge that a generation is better. However, your personal favorite could be something different.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess yeah, that makes sense, because I would say the best gaming generation was like the GameCube PS2 era, but the best console of all time is very clearly the Wii U.
I mean, best gaming generation, the Wii generation is a fine answer. Wii, PS3, and 360 was an iconic generation for sure. I think especially for anybody our age. But I also think there are plenty of people who probably had. It's like one of those things where the GameCube weirdly didn't sell well, yet everybody I know has such fond memories of the GameCube. So I don't know. The answers made total sense. The slander against the Wii U, like
I have Slander and I've never played it.
right.
I think it's because it's the one I haven't played, so I'm kind of like, whatever.
And you answered that as the worst gaming generation,
Right,
right?
right.
Well, what I don't know what else I'd say.
Well, no. Here's a question I'd like to hear both your answers for. In my opinion, the Wii and the Wii U came out in the same generation. No.
Mm.
I mean, because Nintendo, especially now, has this like weird off script release schedule. Yes, I would agree. I would say the Switch aligns with PS4 and Xbox One, but they're like this weird thing where they now release halfway between the like other two major. Whereas I feel like the Wii came out around the same time as like the PS3.
Yeah, it was the same year, I think.
Yeah.
2006, 5 maybe.
So that is interesting. That's a good call out. So Shelby, you goofed. You
I
fool.
did goof a little bit. I mean, I don't know the breakups of generations, but to me, the Wii U was just seemingly a bit of an oopsie. So my brain like basically cuts it out like it never happened.
I gotcha. All right. I think the last one that I want to just quickly hit on. What is the best value in all of gaming?
I mean, truly the best bang for your buck is to not give any bucks.
Yeah. I mean,
I appreciate that answer.
it's a really that was for tripping over. Is this the 100th episode? To then saying that the best value in gaming is to not buy and like so quickly to say it. Very impressive. Very impressive. Tip of the cap on that one for sure. Any others that stood out for you, Mike?
No, it's just the only issue that I had with that answer was it's not really helping us with our Game Pass sponsorship,
Right.
Mm.
Right.
which I would think directly affects you, Shelby. So
You can go
Might-
in and like record
yeah, we
over
might
my
do
voice.
we might do some creative
Yeah.
posts. It'll just be Spencer saying Game
Yeah.
Pass.
It's like live censoring. I'll go in and any answers we didn't like worst gaming generation. I'll just repoll where I say what's the best value in gaming, and then I'll put my voice saying Xbox Game Pass over that as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Great. Well, I think that's it then, Shelby.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for doing this. Where, if you want people to find you, where can people find you?
If they wish to. I'm everywhere at Shelby Lynn Lives. That is Lives. Basically, I post about art and crafting and sewing and all of the above. Everywhere.
Awesome. Well, then that does it. So thank you again for joining us. Be sure to check out Shelby Lynn Lives and see all the cool stuff that Shelby's making. And yeah, that's it. Next week, Mike and I will be doing a little recap of the entire year in gaming and all the craziness that happened. So be sure to check that out. As always, wherever you listen, if you can leave us a rating or a review, it'd be greatly appreciated. And be sure to share this podcast with a friend. And we will talk to you next week.